So, you want to petition for a sibling, a brother or a sister. You should just stop thinking about it right now because it's probably a dead end and it's not going to work out for your brother or sister. All joking aside, the process currently takes an unrealistic amount of time. Currently, the visa bulletin for siblings of US citizens indicates that cases from March 2008 are becoming current today. So, if you filed a family petition for your sibling 16 years ago for most countries, then today you can continue with the immigration process, which isn't instant. It'll probably still take at least another year. And by the way, those 16 years are not for every country. That's the best case scenario. For India, it's 2 years longer. For Mexico, it's 7 years longer. And for Philippines, it's similar. So every other country, aside from Mexico, India, and Philippines, it's going to be 16 years. And that includes China, by the way, according to the visa bulletin. One of the things that I got a lot of comments about last time I made a video about petitioning for a sibling is there were a lot of people who were like, I actually petitioned for my sibling 16 years ago. What do I do now? So for the 5 people who are going to leave those comments, basically, as long as they're still under the age of 21, you'll have to continue with the national visa process. You'll have to pay a fee. You'll have to fill out a DS-260 application. You'll have to upload some civil documents, and then we'll have to schedule an interview at the consulate or embassy. And that's basically what the process is going to be like. Another question I got a lot of last time I made a video on this was, can my sibling wait in the United States during that time? And the answer is no. And that's why I started this video by just saying, like, don't even think about it, because it's such an unrealistic option for 99% of people. It's a preference category, a sibling petition. And what that means is, if they are in the US, they have to be here legally basically the entire time. Now, there are some situations where people have tourist visas and they come back and forth and they never actually fall out of status, then it actually might be possible for them to avoid the consular process and apply for adjustment of status in the US down the road. But it's a very rare situation and it requires all the stars to align and just the perfect set of circumstances. It is theoretically possible. I've done it and I've seen it happen with many cases, but they're very rare. One of the things that I tell people to consider if they have a sibling under the age of 21 in the US who's out of status, especially if you're in New York or maybe some other states, but New York specifically, I tell them to consider applying for special immigrant juvenile status. I've made a really good video on this topic. I'll link it at the end of this video during the end screen. But basically, it requires showing that you don't live with both of your biological parents. And if you don't live with both of your biological parents and the parent you don't live with has either abandoned you, which basically means no contact with you for more than 6 months, or neglected or abused you, you can apply for permanent residence. It's a special process in family court. Even though I practice immigration cases nationwide, SIJ is a special type of hybrid case that requires you to be licensed in the state where you're practicing, because we also have to make family court appearances. So for those cases, I can only do New York specific cases, but any other type of immigration case, if you need assistance or you need to consult with an immigration lawyer to figure out what the best plan is for your family member, or to create a plan for the future if you're considering going through the immigration process, please reach out to me. We can do a consultation, create a plan, and I can represent you from start to finish.